All right, let's jump right in. Today, we're going to unpack a really fascinating story that's playing out right where AI meets big-time enterprise software. It's all about this battle over a common language, how our AI agents should actually talk to the rest of our code. And it all revolves around a recent move from Google that could really shake things up for thousands of companies.
So, picture this. You've got this super smart AI agent, right? A powerful language model, all ready to go. But here's the catch. How do you get that brilliant AI to actually, talk to all the existing tools, all the databases and microservices that are already running your business? It's a huge challenge. It's kind of like hiring a genius who doesn't speak the local language.
Well, that's where something called the Model Context Protocol, or MCP, comes into the picture. It's this standard from Anthropic that's getting super popular, and it's designed to be that universal translator. It gives AI agents a structured way to figure out and use all your external software, basically teaching them how to use your company's specific toolset. But of course, there's a twist.
And that twist is what we can call the Great Protocol Mismatch. For a whole lot of big organizations, this is where the real headache starts.
Okay, so here's the deal, and this is the really critical part. MCP, right out of the box, it speaks a language called JSON-RPC. It's pretty flexible, it's text-based, it works. The problem is a ton of modern, large-scale backend systems, especially at big tech companies, have standardized on something totally different, gRPC. And boom, right there you have a major communication breakdown.
And if you're a developer stuck in the middle of this, your choices are, well, they're not great. I mean, do you rewrite all your perfectly good, super fast gRPC services just so the AI can talk to them? Or maybe you build this complicated middleman, a proxy, that has to translate everything back and forth. Or worst of all, do you just maintain two separate versions of everything? None of these are good options, right?
And listen, this isn't just some abstract theoretical issue. This is real-world stuff. Spotify, for instance, ran headfirst into this exact wall. As one of their senior engineers, Stefan Sarny, explained, they literally had to build their own custom experimental fix just to get MCP and their gRPC backend to play nice. It's the perfect example of the real friction this was causing.
And Spotify definitely wasn't alone. The whole developer community saw this problem coming a mile away. You can see it right on GitHub. Discussions kicked off way back in April 2025, with engineers saying, hey, gRPC support should have been in here from the start. And that talk eventually turned into a formal issue a few months later.
And that main GitHub issue, it quickly got 43 upvotes. Now, I know what you're thinking. 43? That's it? But you have to understand, in the super niche world of open source protocols, 43 developers taking the time to upvote a technical issue like this, that is a massive signal. It's basically a scream for help, showing this wasn't just a minor annoyance. It was a serious roadblock for a lot of people.
So, with this clear demand from the community, who steps up? Well, Google, the company that created gRPC in the first place, came in with a really clever solution.
And what's so smart about this, what I really love, is the approach they took. Instead of this big fight to see who wins, JSON-RPC versus gRPC, the MCP maintainers, guided by Google, went for a much more flexible path. They decided to make the whole communication part, the transport layer, pluggable. So now developers can just choose the method that actually fits what they're already using.
So yeah, Google didn't just show up and say, you should fix this. They actually brought the code. They're contributing the official gRPC package themselves, building the exact bridge that the community had been asking for all along.
And for any company that's all in on gRPC, the wins here are huge and they're immediate. We're talking less network traffic, which means lower costs. Lower CPU usage, also lower costs. And you get this fantastic type safety, so your API calls are way more reliable. It just means their AIs can finally talk directly to their existing services without any fuss. But here's where it gets really interesting. Because solving this very practical, hands-on problem actually opens up a much bigger, almost philosophical debate about how we should be building software now in the age of AI.
Because, while this pluggable transport idea is a fantastic engineering compromise, it kind of puts a band-aid over a deeper tension. A tension between how our machines have always talked to each other and how AI thinks.
Just look at the difference here. gRPC is amazing at giving you structural info. What's the function called? What data does it need? It's very rigid, very clear. But MCP was built to give semantic context. It uses plain English to tell an AI why it should use a tool and when it's the right one to grab. That's something gRPC just doesn't do out of the box.
And this, right here,
This brings us to the billion-dollar question for every software architect out there. Are we just kind of slapping AI onto our old systems and forcing it to learn our language? Or do we need to start building brand new AI-native infrastructure from the ground up, designed with that semantic meaning baked in from day one?
So let's bring this all home. Why does any of this matter to you, whether you're a developer, an architect, or a team lead? Let's break down the key takeaways.
So, let's break it down. In the short term, this is a massive, practical win. If your company is built on gRPC, the headache of using these powerful AI agents just got way smaller. But the bigger picture question is still out there. Is this just a temporary fix, a patch, or is it really the right way to go for the long haul? This whole debate about building truly AI-native systems, it's really just getting started.
So the bottom line for today is really this. Google's contribution here isn't just some new piece of software. It's about being pragmatic. It lets huge organizations start building with the latest and greatest AI without being forced to tear down the reliable, high-performance systems they spent years, maybe even decades, creating.
And that really leaves us with one final big question to chew on. We just saw a major protocol literally bend to fit the reality of today's infrastructure. So as AI gets tangled up in everything we build, you have to wonder, what other unbreakable rules, what other best practices and core architectural principles are going to have to bend or just break completely? That's the real question, isn't it? And it's one we're all going to be answering over the next few years.